Alright, hi everyone. Welcome back to my channel. It's been a moment since I have filmed a get ready with me video, so that's what we're filming today. One thing you guys might notice is my room is clean. I finally cleaned my room last night because I was like, I can't live in this filth anymore. But I also have a bunch of new makeup I want to try, so I'm excited for that. First, let's use some of this shimmering body oil just because it's over here and I feel like it. I was like, why is it not coming out? There we go. This is from Five Below. It smells really good. It's vanilla plum nectar. So that will add a little bit of shimmer. I'm gonna spray some Frenchie. I have so much like additional things on my makeup. Let me go get I'm gonna set my ring light up real quick so that I have better lighting. I feel like my room keeps changing a lot, so it's kind of my setup right now is not the best on my makeup desk area because I have so much okay. So alright, this angle's like better in some ways and not better in other ways. First, we're going to take off our pimple patch because y'all saw whatever. I feel like I hate when I get like a pimple on my lip because, or close to my lip, because it looks like a cold sore, but it's not. And it also hurts a lot more and looks way grosser. I did get this new Hello Kitty light. Anyways, we're going to be reviewing and using a bunch of new makeup. So I have new makeup in both of these makeup bags. From Five Below and Dollar Tree is the main thing. So I really want to just use the makeup. I actually think I'm going to focus on my Five Below makeup for now. So let's review what it is. I have the Let It Glow collection. How many pieces? 4-piece glow collection. So you get a bronzer, highlighter, and liquid blush, plus a little applicator. I also have some Fabulash magnetic lashes. And then it's mostly the stuff in here that is the rest of my Five Below makeup. So I have this eyeshadow palette, and there's a lot of really pretty colors in here. I also have some mascaras, and most of this is from their clean beauty line. So if you guys are into clean beauty, you'll love this. I also have the Clean Beauty roll-on perfume oils and their lip balm and lip oils. And I got their makeup brushes. And then I reviewed these lip balms already. They're like the Summer Friday lip balm dupes. I didn't really like them too much, but they're like okay, I guess, if you're willing to like don't want to spend, I guess, $20. I don't even know how much these things cost. I gotta put my hand cream on. If you don't want to spend $20 on a hand cream, then, or lip balm, definitely you can try those, but they're not the best quality, I will say. Like, it's not my favorite in terms of, like, dupes. I feel like e.l.f. Has better dupes than Five Below. So let's get started. We are going to prime our face. I did already spray earlier this Tower 28. This is the Daily Facial Rescue Spray. And it has the, I think it has the hypochlorous acid, which apparently helps with reducing acne. So we're going to spray a little bit more of this. Woo! And then for my actual primer, we'll just use this e.l.f. Poreless Primer to start. Anyways, there's not much to update you guys on. I feel like I've been making a lot of more frequent updates for you guys lately. I already talked about I feel like, here's the thing. Part of me is like, doesn't want to share about my having to go to court, being arrested. That was it's such like an embarrassing situation to be in, and it's also just like not something I'm proud of. So I didn't really want to share the videos that I made, but I kind of just, you know, it was something that was also weighing on me though for like the past however many months. So I feel like not talking about it was also hard, because I'm like, that was something that was majorly causing me so much stress and anxiety and everything, but I didn't want to talk about it because I'm like, well, one, it's like an embarrassing situation. I felt a lot of shame to have even been in that situation, and it was just like, it's not my proudest moment, of course, but I also, because I always share things that I'm going through in my life, it was weird for me to not talk about it. But it's also just like, you don't want to put all of your business on the internet. And for me too, I like don't want to, I guess there's also like protecting my, I guess, image. Like, I don't want people to view or think of me a certain way, but at the end of the day, I already know I'm not perfect. It's just not, it's just like, I guess more people would try to hide their imperfections, and I'm usually very vocal in telling y'all all my business, pretty much. But it was hard for me to do. I will say, like, that was not a situation that I really wanted to talk about. And I hope talking about it, though, maybe helps people. I don't know. Like I said, it is hard, though, to, like, be vulnerable and always share a lot of my personal struggles, personal issues online. And I guess, like, I'm used to it now, but it doesn't mean it's not hard or something that's like easy to do all the time. So I always just hope like my videos help someone who's going through something similar feel less alone. And I know also too, like, I'm not perfect, and this is the thing that I feel like I've really been kind of meditating on. It's like easy to, like, because I talked about pride and how I was struggling with a lot of pride when I was had to go to court, and was just like, didn't want to admit I had done anything wrong. And that is not like, that's not how you should is not how you should. What is the word I'm thinking of? Basically, it's just like you have to be humble when you are, one, I'm in a position where I'm getting consequences, but it's also just, you know, pride is never the right a prideful attitude is not an attitude that can be helped most of the time. So I was dealing with a lot of pride and not wanting to admit I had done anything wrong, because I know I wasn't intentionally doing something wrong. Like, at the end of the day, it's not always, people make mistakes. People don't always do things on purpose. Accidents happen, but, you know, some accidents can have very, very bad consequences. Some accidents result in injuries, death, you know. So it's just like, I know I wasn't intentionally like trying to do something wrong and stuff like that. And so it's just easy to try to protect yourself, basically, and protect your I guess ego. It's like that's what a prideful mindset wants to do. You're trying to protect yourself from, you know, either the consequences or just having to deal with repercussions of your actions. And, you know, I wanted to believe, you know, I would never do something like that. But then I did have like kind of an epiphany moment where I like realized, you know, you have to be honest with yourself and recognize like I have to take accountability for the choices I made, and recognize that even if I wasn't intentionally making a choice to drink and drive, and I didn't think I was drunk, I didn't think I was, you know, incapable of driving, because I had been drinking, you know, that's a risk that you're taking. And because I had some doubt and I ignored it. I think that was also the real thing. Like, that epiphany moment for me was like, because I had some doubt, I should not have gotten behind the wheel. But I ignored my doubt because I just wanted to get home, and I thought I would be okay. I didn't think I was, I knew, I didn't, I know, and I kept saying this, I never felt drunk that entire night. So I know I have been drinking, but I never felt drunk. So I was never questioning, like, thinking like, oh, I need to find another ride to get home. But anyways, I've talked about everything that happened a lot. So basically, I'm just saying, like, having that epiphany moment where I had to recognize that even if it wasn't my intention to drink and drive, I still made choices that I shouldn't have made, and have to take accountability for that. And that's something that's hard to do. It's easier said than done. Having to admit you're not perfect is hard sometimes. But the truth is, no one's perfect. At the end of the day, like, everyone's falls short. Now, not everyone is going to have to face legal consequences, but from, like, just a biblical perspective, at some point, everyone's going to be held accountable for choices that they made. Oh, I forgot I have brushes. Okay, so we're about to start on our eyeshadow. Oh, you know what? I do want to use my pink. I have this Beauty Creations pink setting powder that I really want to use today. So I already did my, like, basic makeup. I need to do eyebrows. That's the other thing. I have my makeup area right now is not the most organized. Like, it's organized but not organized. It's kind of what do I call that? I always say organized chaos, but it honestly just feels chaotic right now because I have so much stuff on my makeup desk. Here, I'm moving y'all back because I need to reach over here. I have so much stuff on my desk that's not completely organized, so I'm like still having to search to find things, or things where it's just like something's covering up something so I can't get to it. Ooh. Anyways, back to my video. Basically, it was hard for me to admit that I had made the mistake because my pride told me, you know, I didn't do anything wrong, and I didn't have intentions of doing anything wrong. But just because I didn't have the intentions doesn't mean I didn't do something wrong. So, owning up to your mistakes, taking accountability is always hard. And I feel like it's always easy to tell people you need to just do this, but most people also don't practice what they preach. And that's part of the what we call in psychology. I forgot what this type of bias. It's called the, come on brain, think. What is it called? Attributional error bias. And so that's basically how a lot of times people, when it comes to other people, they're so quick to say, well, everything that's happening to you is your fault and because of choices that you made. But when it comes to themselves, it's never, I'm the problem, I did something wrong. It's always like, it's easy for people to find the problem when they're looking at other people, but when it comes to their own failures or shortcomings, they always blame, you know, their circumstances and everything else. And the truth is, I'm like, both things apply to everyone. You know, sometimes people go through situations that are outside their control, and sometimes people, I mean, it's always kind of a bit of both. Circumstances will make you make choices, and those choices that you make are what you're accountable for. You're not accountable, though, for the circumstances. Some of the times you're not accountable for the circumstances, but you are accountable for the choices that you make leading up to those things. So I always think it's a bit of both. We're using this pink powder. Oh my goodness. It's been so long since I've actually sat down and done my makeup too. I was looking back at like old videos when I used to actually do my makeup, and I was like, dang, like what happened? What happened? I don't know why. I just kind of stopped. Even though I keep buying makeup, I'm buying it and not using it, which is bad. And I'm like, I need to actually use the makeup that I have and not like keep just hoarding and not using makeup. So far, I like this. It's like different because there's like a pink undertone, but it's not super, I don't think it's super hard to see. Oh, the other thing I wanted to say, because I know there's some people new to my channel, I want to let people know, when I post videos of me venting, that is just me venting. That is me getting whatever it is I'm struggling with, dealing with off my chest, and I'm talking through it and I'm getting how I'm feeling off my chest because it helps me work through it. My attitude in those videos is not always going to be my normal attitude, because it's just like I'm going through it I'm like my emotions. I'm literally, what's the word? Working through the emotions when I'm venting. And so I know people watch the venting videos and they're like, oh, this girl's just complaining and she's just doing this. And it's like, yes, that is how I feel in the moment. But once I've actually processed everything is when I'm like, okay, what do we do about it? Because I know you can't, like, it's not good to complain about, you know, things. Complaining is not going to help your situation. It's not going to change things. And that's not an attitude I like to have or want to have. Because complaining is really just like, it's not helping the situation either. So when I am making my venting videos, it is me kind of dealing with and processing the emotions I'm feeling at the time. But once I've actually fully processed them, I get to the point like where I am now, where I'm like, okay, let's figure out how to actually work through all of those things that you feel and all of the things that you know are challenges for you. And sometimes the biggest challenge is sometimes ourselves. Like, recognizing for me that having a poor attitude, for one, is always going to be one of my bigger issues, because your attitude shapes how you are going to go through or process things like circumstances around you. If you have the worst attitude and you have like the slightest inconvenience, when you have a bad, or you're in a bad mood or have a bad attitude, that smallest problem is going to like ruin your entire day. But when you have like when I'm in a good mood or have a better attitude, the smaller things in life, you don't sweat them. It doesn't irritate you that much. And so I know for the past couple of weeks, my attitude has not been the best, because I was under so much stress because of the DUI situation. There was so much that I was just having so much stress and anxiety, and just thinking like the worst was gonna come out of it. So you guys probably, until I actually shared videos about it, y'all didn't know that that was something that was weighing very heavily on my mind throughout like the past 2 months, since I was arrested. Like, I've been dealing with that kind of in private, but also I just didn't want to share anything until I knew like what the outcome was going to be and had the solution, because I'm already on, I mean, I'm not completely on the other side of it, but at least I don't have this same like unknown what's going to happen type thing, because I've already been to court now. But prior to that, I did not know, and I think I was under a lot of stress, and so I wasn't really able to, it was hard for me to have like a more positive outlook on things. But also, I used Love Bite, this color, in my crease. So yeah, it's just like, again, admitting you're not perfect is hard but humbling. And I think I know I need to be humble in life to get to wherever it is God's called me to be. Like, being prideful and having this ego and thinking you're so much better than people, or you know, you would never do this or you would never do that. I know I'm not a judgmental person either. Like, I'm not someone who like tries to put people down because of their circumstances, because of their past, or because of something that they've been through. I truly really do try to see the best in people. I'm using this color called Leader. I truly try to see the best in people, because I don't want to think like, I don't want to be someone who sits on like their high horse and thinks they're so much better than everyone else. It really is important to be humble, and life humbles you a lot of the time. So even if you're not being humble, life will humble you eventually. So I will say, like, going through this is, I mean, it's humbling. It's also just embarrassing, because I would just like, I want to believe I'm someone who wouldn't make certain mistakes, but the truth is, you never know what situations you're going to find yourself in. You never know what choices are going to lead to you being in those circumstances. Like, I really didn't think that night I was going to end up in jail, but that's what happened, and I didn't have control over that. And even if you guys watch I haven't shared it yet, like this video, by the way, every time I've talked about this situation, I have not shared one thing about it. One thing about this situation so far. So if y'all watching this, it is everything that you've seen about the situation it's already happened. But anyways, going through this definitely has taught me a lot. It's another situation for me to learn, for me to grow, and for me to just do better with my life, make better decisions. Like I said, I've decided to be sober. I don't want to drink at all anymore. Not because I struggled with alcoholism. It's just like I don't want to put myself in a compromising position like I did, and even just risk it. And I also am like, I don't care to drink to begin with, so why am I why am I even going out drinking if I know I can live without that? So that's like where I really am right now. I'm like, I don't want to keep putting myself in a compromising position where that's even a possibility. And then the other thing too is just like, obviously making sure when I'm driving, I'm not speeding. Follow the laws. Basically just follow the laws. I don't really have the desire to go out or anything anymore either. Like, I feel like I was having kind of some FOMO because some of my friends were going out a lot of the time, but I also know, like, I don't even like going out like that. I just like dancing and listening to music. So it's just like, I just know, like, it's something I can live without. And so it's not something that I want to continue participating in. Like, I don't need to drink. I don't have to drink. I don't need to drink. And I can live the rest of my life sober. So that's another outcome I feel like of this. I do think, like, overall, even though it's still hard because I'm dealing with a lot of consequences, I do think, like, this situation needed to happen because I don't think I was going down the right path. Like, I do think I was being led astray in a lot of ways because of I don't want to blame the people I was hanging out with, but just like I was putting myself in a lot of compromising situations. And I feel like this me being arrested, it was like the wake-up call I needed to be like, okay, you're doing something wrong if you're finding yourself in a situation like this. And I just know, like, the path I was on was going to lead to destruction. Oh my gosh, that's so pretty. I used this color, Free Spirit. So also, I'm so bad when I'm doing chit chats talking about the makeup. So this color Charmer is what I put on my lid first, and now I'm using this sparkly glitter color called Free Spirit, and we're just, oh, it's so pretty. Y'all, this palette, the fact that this was only $5, okay, Five Below, if you want to sponsor me, I would really appreciate that. But this is actually so pretty. Anyways, what was I saying? But yeah, I definitely think, like, this situation, even though it sucks to be in, it needed to happen. It happened for a reason, and it happened because I was definitely going down the wrong path, and God needed to turn me around. And I wasn't going to turn around unless something major like this happened. And I know, like, I'm grateful I didn't get in an accident or anything. Like, no one was harmed at the end of the day. And I also believe I would have gotten home okay, safely. I just think, like, if I had successfully gotten home after having doubt about thinking me drinking was okay, I would have continued making compromising if I kept going out and drinking and thinking like, oh, I'll be okay. So it's just like, I don't think it needed to happen, because I feel like I would have continued down a path that would have eventually led to me making worse and worse decisions. So that's something that I'm also now grateful for. Even though it's not fun, like being on probation. I'm on probation, guys. Probation, guys. I don't think probation's is going to be hard for me, because I want to be on the straight and narrow path. I don't want to get into any more trouble. I don't ever want to be in jail or in court ever again. I'm tired. I can't do it no more. Okay, I'm taking this color in. It's called Bliss. It's not really giving what I thought it would give, but we're putting it in our inner crease, kind of. Inner corner. I feel like it's just not as glittery as the other color, but anyways, I definitely don't want to I don't want to be in this situation ever again. That is for dang sure. So that's all I'm gonna do. My attitude is just to learn, grow, and don't make the same mistakes. You don't have to beat yourself up because you make a mistake either. Like, it's easy to kind of, especially when you're just like, it's hard to admit when you're wrong, but you also don't have to beat yourself up about it. Like, yes, I made a mistake and I regret it. I wish it never happened, but moving forward, I'm growing and going to do everything I can to make sure I don't get myself in any more trouble, don't put myself in that type of compromising situation ever again. And that's all you really can do. No one's perfect. No one is perfect but Jesus. So if there's someone who's trying to make you feel like you're a horrible person because of something that you did, that person, first of all, does not know the love of Christ, does not know the forgiveness of Christ, because God literally forgives. The Bible also tells us as Christians that we are to forgive others the way he forgives us, and that if we do not forgive others, he will not forgive us of our sins. So, unforgiveness is always going to be a bad thing for someone if you call yourself a Christian but you don't forgive others, that's not a good sign. I also think just knowing the grace and forgiveness Christ gives us is the reason that I always want to be able to forgive other people. I don't want to look down on people because of their past, because of something they did. I feel like everyone deserves grace and a second chance. And there's a lot of people who maybe have never been in a situation where they needed or had to ask for that. But when you are, and you do eventually find yourself in that situation, I would want someone to forgive me if I did something that hurt someone. So it's just treat others the way you would want to be treated. Would you want someone to be if you made a mistake, you wouldn't want someone to treat you like you were the worst human being on the planet, or just be condescending and judgmental and all of those things. So as Christians, we're called to love, we're called to forgive, and we're called to just, pray for people, using I feel like I would never want to be someone who used someone's past against them, or decided, oh, because this person did this, I'm too good to, I don't want to be someone who thinks I'm so much better than someone. Nah, I would rather be humble. And I've been humbled a lot in my own life. So I'm I have no room to judge anyone for anything ever. And I don't even like I said, I try to see the best in people. I don't want to be someone who's putting people down because of choices they made, or because of their past, or because of anything like that. Like, who am I to judge at the end of the day? Now, I say this because, and I think people get this confused when I say this, because some people have watched me share my opinion and have taken it as me being judgmental. I feel like having an opinion that something is wrong does not mean that you are judging people for doing those things. Like, I can say I don't agree. Like, if I say, for example, I believe sex outside of marriage is wrong, does that mean I have hatred and I'm judging every person who's had sex out of marriage? No. Like, that's a moral stance that I hold. I believe it's wrong because the Bible says it wrong. I believe it's wrong for a lot of reasons that I can get into. But does that mean that I'm looking at, because someone's had sex out of marriage, I'm like, they're a horrible person, they should go to jail? No. So people, I don't think, some people don't know how to separate. Like, I can have a stance that something is wrong and not be judging people for doing those things. Like, they're two different things. Now, if I was saying everyone who has sex out of marriage is is like a horrible person and deserves all of these horrible things, that would be judging. But that's not what I've never said that. I think, like, again, that's just where, okay, this is coconut conditioning mascara. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to talk and say stuff, but also do my makeup. Yeah, I would never, I believe things are wrong, but I would never, judge someone because they did that. Just because I believe it's wrong doesn't mean I hate people who participate, or wish ill will or harm for people who participate in it. And I think it's sometimes hard for people to hear the opinion I have on something, and then they take it like, I think they're like, they take it as judgment, but it's not judgment, you know? Or I guess I should say it's not intended as judgment, because I still think someone who's had sex out of marriage is still deserving of like a good relationship and all of those things. Like, my reasons for believing it's wrong stems from a lot of things. It stems from my education to a certain extent. It stems from a lot of things. But I also am not saying like I think people don't deserve something or should be treated worse because of it. I feel like that's where it gets muddied. Opinions on things is not judgments of those things. It's just stating your opinion. Judgment comes when you are being dealt consequences. Or I guess this is a better way. I'm not trying to shame people who participate in those things. Like, just because I don't agree with it and it's not something I personally want to do doesn't mean I'm shaming people for doing it. Especially if someone is, you know, struggling. I never would wish ill will on someone in that way. Like, I truly want the best for people. I want people to have, you know, good experiences in this world. I don't want to see people be hurt or go through like horrible things just because I don't agree with choices that they made. So yeah, I guess that's how I differentiate it, because I've had someone make a comment. It was on a video a while ago, but she had made a comment how my opinion videos came off very judgmental. And, you know, I'm assuming she assumed my opinion was me judging people who don't agree or participate. It's just like, no. I don't like doing drugs. Do I hate people who do drugs? No. I know a lot of people who do drugs. It's just like, there's a lot of, I feel like it's just like, a lot of times if someone is offended by something like that, the reason is, I think, not so much just because I said it, but because they have their own maybe convictions about it. It's always, I think it always stems from insecurity. And I think that's why it's hard for a lot of people, myself included, to hear criticism. Because if someone criticizes something that, when someone, I always say this, if someone criticizes something that's not true, like, why would you care if someone's is telling a lie, right? Like, if someone says, I hate how you're so, I don't know, I can't think of an example, but someone criticizing me for something that's not true is not going to hurt as much as someone criticizing me for something that I deep down know is true, but I'm trying to protect myself because of it's an insecurity, right? Like, some comments hurt more because you believe a lie, almost like you're hiding. You are trying to, like I said, you want to protect yourself, so your ego doesn't want to see that maybe a choice you made is wrong. And I'm like the example of this right now. I'm literally going through this. But because you know that there's some truth to what those people are saying, it hurts more because you're not admitting the truth to yourself. So when you are able to admit the truth, the criticism doesn't hurt as much, because you recognize that what that person's telling you is a valid response sometimes. Now, how someone goes about telling you those things is going to, oh man, I broke it. Okay, we're gonna try these lashes, y'all. I just broke my thing. Also, I've been talking for too long and I don't know how much space I have on my phone, so we're gonna hurry up. But I broke the applicator for these, so I'm gonna have to throw these away. I also did not put on any. Okay, so this is the magnetic eyeliner. Let's just go ahead and put this on. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this. Okay, so I got one lash. All right, let's see if this works. I don't know if I have to let it dry first or if it's just gonna automatically go. I look crazy. I feel like this is not working. Like, y'all see how it keeps lifting? Like, it's good, and then until I blink. Maybe, okay. These magnetic lashes, y'all, I'm having difficulties with. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's hurting. I keep feeling like it's poking. So the lashes are a fail. I don't know if I'm just not doing it right or like what. I just feel like the lashes keep bending every time I blink. So we might just do we might just do our natural lashes. Or maybe find glue lashes, cuz Let's see. I do have glue, and I know I saw some other lashes here that I want to use. I'm gonna use these Ioni. Okay, so the magnetic lashes were a fail, unfortunately, so we're gonna use regular ones today. I don't wear lashes a lot anymore. Like, y'all, there was a period in time where I used to be a lash queen in cosmetology school. I was always doing my lashes, and then I think this is what happened, and this is honestly why I feel like if you wear lashes too much, you start to depend on those lashes to like your makeup. So, and then you also start to look like I feel like I try to save wearing lashes on like special occasions. I don't want to wear them all the time because I feel like lashes add that extra like oomph when you are trying to... Ugh, is this glue even any good? Lashes add that extra like special, or like I feel like they just like elevate the makeup look. So I feel like I try to use it only for special occasions because I don't want people to get used to me wearing lashes, because then when I want to be like have something special, I can put lashes on and people can be like, well, I shouldn't say people can be like, but like, you know what I'm trying to say. Basically, I just want to be able to still have that like wow factor when I wear lashes, and I feel like when you wear them all the time, people just get used to you wearing lashes all the time, and then it doesn't have the same effect, like dramatic effect with your makeup. So that was a lot of words just for me to say. It's so like I can still have a wow factor when I do my lashes, because wearing them every day, that looks 10 times better. Yes, we can do that. Ooh, I do not miss. I also hated how lashes felt, so that's the other reason I stopped wearing lashes. But I used to wear them like every day when I was in cosmetology school. Cosmetology school is honestly did elevate my makeup skills, because I got to practice. I was practicing my makeup pretty much every day at school. So I feel like that is a period where my makeup skills definitely improved a lot more. But I haven't felt as passionate about doing makeup for whatever reason more recently. So that looks 10 times more natural. Okay, let's try to get this other lash on. There was also a period in time where I just did always had to apply my lashes with my fingers. This applied so well today, and I'm very, very happy about it because I'm usually fighting for my life. Okay, the last piece of makeup, because I'm running out of time and this video was not supposed to be close to an hour, is these little 4-piece glow collection. So let's just start right off the bat. This liquid bronzer is probably gonna be a highlighter for me, not for my a lighter or a darker skin tone, but we are gonna try the liquid blush at least and see. I'm just like interested to see how these are gonna... Oh, this is so interesting. I did not think it was gonna come out like that. Okay, I'm gonna take this blush brush. Okay, wait a second. That looks crazy. Why would they do that? I don't know what I don't like it, y'all. I literally just put straight up, like, it looks like I put a highlighter straight on my cheek. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Where's we need another blush. I'm about to use, we're gonna use this liquid blush because this is not doing it for me. I love my blush, is one of my favorite parts of my makeup, and I need my blush to look like blush, not glitter and not highlighter. So maybe if Five Below is not gonna sponsor me after they see my review. It's pretty. I feel like you could use it. It would be prettier to use as a highlight, but definitely not blush. And I also need this blush to show up on my skin because it's not enough. I feel like this brush too, like, all right. Trying to make, I do think after working at Sephora, my expectations of makeup was elevated because I got a taste of good quality makeup, and this makeup is not doing it for me. Like, I would not, I feel like Five Below makeup would be better for like a child, middle schooler, elementary school. It's more like play makeup because this is not like giving the vibes I need it to. This makeup brush is absorbing the product instead of placing it. So we're gonna use a professional blush brush, and that did so much better. Okay, at least I know these things. Like, it's fun to try like the little cheaper makeup. Like, I feel like Dollar Tree makeup is how I learned how to do makeup. I used to buy so much makeup from Dollar Tree, and I would just practice with like those little cheap eyeshadow palettes. Like, it wasn't like the best quality, but it's good to like, it's good, better to practice on cheap makeup than invest in like super expensive stuff. But it's also just not gonna, it doesn't apply the same. So that was interesting. Let's do our lips and then we are done. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Like I said, I am not here to judge or condemn anyone for anything that they've done in their life. I am far from perfect, clearly, and I'm still learning and growing at 28 years old. I'm still finding myself in situations I would never want to be in. So you're never too old to learn. You're never too, I feel like mistakes, you're gonna make mistakes. Unfortunately, because we're not perfect, we're gonna make mistakes, but don't be hard on yourself. Learn from it, grow from it, do better, and that's the best thing you can do. I don't know if I like this color. Alright, this eyelash, for whatever reason, is bothering me a lot more than this one. Oh, I do need highlight. So, now that I've established this is not a good blush, I think it will be a pretty highlighter. I just think the way you have to pump this with the lid, it's hard to apply. I'm also not going to put this directly on my face because that did not turn out good. So I'm going to put it on the back of my hand and then apply it. And we're going to try this last brush in here. Okay, that actually looks okay. So don't put it directly on your face, and I think it's a lot better. It's actually a very, very pigmented highlight too. I will say, like, the highlighter, this highlighter is very, very pigmented. I can see it very well on my face. I do think this brush is absorbing the makeup off my face instead of applying it, which is not something I want in my makeup brushes. So I think there's better quality brushes to use as well. But overall, it's not looking bad. All right, and we're going to set our face with our e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Something fell. Okay, at least with this one, you don't choke when you're inhaling it, because that happened when I used the one size for the first time, and I was not okay. I do want a little bit of shine, so, ooh, my lash is lifting. That's the other thing about lashes, like, they just be annoying to wear. I can't wear them all day. I don't know how other people did it, but we're gonna try this red one on top and see if it gives us glossiness. Like, there's a hint of a color under it, but it's just like the formula, it just slides off your lips. All right, we're gonna use this Revolution gloss on top, and it's gonna be way better. I gotta take this lash off, y'all. It's poking my eye out. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's because, like, the magnetic lashes on top, like, I don't know, this was poking me really bad. I'm gonna try to reapply it, but whew, okay. Trial and error, guys. That feels better, but it doesn't look as natural as the other side because it's not applied as close to my lower lash. We're gonna try to use our lash curler to kind of seal it in. Sometimes that helps. Press the lash a little bit closer. All right, this is my final makeup look. Using mostly Five Below makeup, so I feel like the eyeshadow, I actually do like the eyeshadow a lot. The mascaras were decent. This is a decent highlighter. It's just I would not prefer this type of applicator. The brushes were not the best. I would say really it was the bigger brushes. The eyeshadow brushes applied okay in my opinion. But yeah, that's my review of, I guess, Five Below makeup. Also, random chit chat about all the other stuff I'm dealing with. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see y'all in my next one.